Patriots, please welcome WalkAway campaign founder, Brandon Straka.
What's up, Patriots? I see your true colors shining through. And that's why I love you. Wow, you guys have made me so proud today. I cannot tell you how proud I am for the silent majority showing up today to be unsilent. This is so important. This is so historic and so important that we're doing this right now. I want to tell you something. I've said before, one of the things that was a major adjustment for me when I went from being a liberal to a conservative was how passive conservatives can be when it comes to lifting up their voices, being active, going out, demonstrating, taking control of the situation, taking charge. I've said over and over again, we've got to show up. We've got to show up. Like so many of you, I sat back this summer as we were all told that we had to stay home. We had to obey shutdown orders. We had to close our businesses. We had to drive the economy into the ground. And like you, I sat back at home under lockdown and I watched as Black Lives Matter and Antifa began destroying our country from coast to coast, burning our neighborhoods, burning down black neighborhoods, burning down businesses, looting stores, causing violence, causing vandalism, causing destruction. And it broke my heart. And I sat there wondering day after day, is anybody going to do anything about this? And then I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to. And that is when we started launching WalkAway Rescue America rallies every damn week in this country, going to Democrat cities, going to Democrat states, marching and rallying, telling them that we do not give the radical left permission to destroy our country. I love you too. I watched as your courage grew and grew. I watched as the numbers grew and grew. And don't get it twisted, our first one was in Baltimore, and it was, love you, but about 1/10 of the people who signed up showed up. And the next day, because we had over 1,000 people who said they were coming, so 1,300 people signed up to come, and probably about 100 showed up. And the next day, we started getting hundreds and hundreds of messages and emails. I got scared. I know this is important. I know I really wanted to be there, but I was afraid. And it's that fear that grips and controls conservatives that has allowed the radical left to become the radical left. We have allowed ourselves to become so afraid that we have given them complete control to go out and destroy this country. People then, they say to me, well, conservatives, we don't really march. Is that true today? Is that true today? They say to me, we don't really march, we don't really rally, we vote. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, and listen to me as I say it loud and clear. Voting is no longer good enough. It's no longer enough. We have to show up for America 365 days a year, every day. Wear your activism, wear your patriotism every day. And they say to me, well, but what difference is a march going to make? What difference is a rally going to make? Why would I march? Why would I rally? Let me tell you what a difference a march and a rally makes. Just over 3 months ago, if any person on the face of the planet, at least in this country, told you, I'm going to run for office, and my platform is, I want to defund the police, we all would have started laughing and said, you're insane. Nobody's going to vote for you. And now, 3 months later, we have politicians campaigning on a platform of defunding the police. We have governors and mayors defunding police departments. It's my city, New York City, cut 1/5 of the budget of the police. Over $1 billion was cut. And crime rates are skyrocketing. Black neighborhoods, crime skyrocketing, murder skyrocketing all over New York City. Vandalism, destruction skyrocketing without the police. And all of this is happening because the left showed up. They showed up. As soon as George Floyd was killed, they sprang into action. They started marching. They started rallying. They started demonstrating. They started showing up in mass, in numbers. And within just weeks, they convinced people that defunding the police is a good idea. I say defending the police is a good idea. I sat at home all summer and my heart was broken. My heart was broken. I got this vision in my head of one of those old movies, one of those old black and white movies, those silly old silent films where the damsel in distress is tied to the railroad tracks and the train is coming speeding at her and she's waiting for the hero to come riding up on the horse and free her from the railroad tracks. And that is America today. America is a damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, waiting for a hero to show up and rescue her. Will you be the heroes that America needs today? Will you join me in this mission and this movement to rescue America from the radical left? I am glad that I have inspired many of you. It's a wonderful privilege to talk to many of you. You say you've inspired me. If I've truly inspired you, just like Scott Pressler said, don't let it end here today. Don't let it end tomorrow. Don't ever let it end. But remember, we have 1 month until the greatest crossroads in the history of this country. 1 month. And it is do or die time. But it's not too late. It is not too late. We can still register new voters. We can convince people they need to get out and vote. We can tell people how important it is to change your mind and vote. We can have uncomfortable conversations with black people, Hispanic people, LGBT people, women, anybody who's deranged by the radical left. Go up to them and say, listen to me. Do you understand? I care about black people too. I care about Hispanic people. I care about immigrants. I care about minorities in this country. That's why I'm a conservative, because conservatism is compassionate. Conservatism is kind. And above all things, conservatism makes sense. The alternative does not. Don't tell me America was never great. Don't say it to me. Look at this stage. Jesse Owens, a black man winning the gold medal in the 1920s. Our freedom of speech, our freedom of right to debate, our freedom to discuss ideas led to women being able to vote when they couldn't vote. The greatness of the greatest generation saved us from the Nazis and the fascists. And before feminists decided that a man being within 6 feet, they were the ones who invented social distancing, the feminists. Before feminists decided that men weren't allowed to get within 6 feet of them, this gallant man planted a kiss on this girl to say, the war's over! America wins! Ruby Bridges, a little girl who went to school after schools were desegregated. Martin Luther King Jr., who had a dream. He had a dream that one day we would judge each other not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. To the radical left, are you listening? Are you listening to the teachings of Dr. King? It is about the content of the character. It is about our kindness. It is about what is inside of us. I've said it again and again, if the rest of the world could come to know you as I have come to know you, they would love you too. Because I love you so much. I love you so much. American greatness took us to the moon. American greatness allowed us to persevere after 9/11. And it is that greatness in America that is going to allow us to overcome this economic shutdown. We will overcome this. We will overcome a pandemic. And our president is going to be there with us every step of the way. Last night was the WalkAway American Women's Town Hall. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. And one of my speakers last night was Lara Trump. And of course, we got the horrible news 2 days ago, the evening 2 days ago. And the next day I woke up with a pit in my stomach just waiting. I knew I was gonna get that phone call, Lara can't come. Lara can't make it. I knew it was happening. And then I sat for a moment in stillness and I just listened to what I was being told because I was panicking. I thought to myself, what am I going to tell the people who are coming, who are expecting to see her, expecting to take a picture with her? What am I going to say? This is so hard. This is so hard. What am I going to do? And I felt so clearly a voice speak to me and say, I did not choose you to do this because it's easy. I chose you because this is hard, and I know you can handle it. And I can, and I will. But I can't do it alone. And I have watched your courage grow. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have seen you become bolder. I've seen you become braver. I have seen you become more outspoken. I have watched you become unsilent. And don't think that the world is not listening. Don't think that for a second. Because you guys saw that video earlier that had a ticker above it that was showing that 200 some thousand people walk away, 200. We now have 500,000 people in that group. Our numbers have doubled. So, in that regard, I say thank you, Black Lives Matter, and thank you, Antifa, because you doubled the numbers in my group of people who walked away. And let me tell you something very exciting. We don't just, WalkAway campaign is not just a Facebook group that people join. They tell their stories. They make video testimonials. They make written testimonials. They tell their story about why they're walking away. And after Black Lives Matter and Antifa started destroying this country, the testimonials started rolling in from people in their 20s, early 20s, their 30s. We are grabbing America's youth. They are not lost. They're not lost. 2020 was really supposed to be our year. And this was true for all of us. I mean, we all had plans. We were all devastated in one way or another by the things that happened this year. 2020 was supposed to be the year that WalkAway began building college chapters from coast to coast. I did a college campus tour last year. Everybody said to me, Can we open a chapter in our own school? I'm afraid to speak out. I'm afraid I don't have a voice. I'm not allowed to just be myself in my own school. And of course, then they shut the schools down because of COVID. So make no mistake. Let me make this very clear to everybody. WalkAway does not end at Election Day. WalkAway was never about one candidate. It was never about one election. It was never about one moment in time. It has always been and will always be about fighting radicalism whenever and wherever it is. We are going to show up and we are going to be there. You're welcome. I hope to God that life gets back to normal as soon as possible. And next year, I hope to God, will be the year we begin building out our college campus chapters. That we once again begin doing town halls for minority communities and all different types of people in this world, including straight white men. We love you. I love you, buddy. I think a WalkAway American Men's Town Hall might be coming up very soon. I love you all so much. But listen, who's calling me? That's going to have to wait. I love you all so much. I love you for showing up today. I love you for being brave. I love you for being courageous. Let's continue to fight and fight and fight and fight. Tonight, I am told that there is going to be a prayer vigil for President Donald Trump at Walter Reed. Is that right? We're going to go. We're all going to be there. If you're available, let's all show up and pray for the president tonight. $6:30, Walter Reed. All right. But listen, guys, never forget, everything that's happening in the world right now is happening for a reason. It's beyond coincidence, and it's absolutely by design. It is not a coincidence that Donald Trump is our president. It's not a coincidence that I was chosen to lead a movement of people away from the Democratic Party. A gay hairstylist was chosen to lead a movement of people away from the Democratic Party. The point I'm trying to make here is God has chosen radicals and unusual characters right now to do very unusual work, saving this country, being the heroes that America needs right now. He will not forsake us in this moment when we know we're afraid because of what our president is going through. He didn't bring us this far to let us down now. Never forget, Donald Trump is going to be okay. We are going to be okay. We are going to rescue America. Rescue America! Unsilent! Now do me one last honor here. I want to see you hold those WalkAway signs way up high, and I want to hear you chant, "Walk away, walk away, walk away." Let freedom ring! Thank you.